Hi everyone, I'm Rishabh Khandelwal, and today I'll be talking about our work, PriceSec, a privacy settings enforcement controller. This work was done in collaboration with Tom, my fellow grad student, Hamza from Google Research, and my advisor, Professor Qasim Fawaz. Let's start by looking at usability issues present in privacy settings. The first issue is that privacy settings are hard to find on the internet. This is evident in our user study, where we observed that users needed to navigate to up to 10 URLs to change a privacy setting. Prior work in 2019 also noted that privacy choices are located inconsistently across websites, which makes them harder to find. For example, let's take the case of Twitter. In order to find the push notification settings, we first have to click on the three dots, then navigate through several pages. As we can see, there are a lot of settings and the process can be very cumbersome. Further, some of the settings are dynamically loaded, which can be easily missed by the user. For another example, consider Facebook's privacy settings. There are multiple settings on this page itself, and each tab on the left panel here has similar number of settings. In total, there are over 60 privacy settings to choose from only on Facebook. This leads to our second issue. Even when you know where the settings are located, sometimes it's extremely hard to find the particular setting of interest. This is primarily because settings are spread over multiple URLs. The prior work in this field can be broadly categorized into two categories. The first is Android privacy. In this, Chen et al. Proposed a system called Hound to locate hidden privacy settings in Android apps. However, this does not address the problem of web privacy. The second category is related to web settings. The closest work here is Opt Out Easy by Kumar et al., in which they use NLP techniques to detect opt-out settings from privacy policies and present them to the users via web extension. However, these are limited to opt-out settings and do not account for the fine-grained privacy settings provided by the websites. Motivated by these shortcomings, we define our research objective as, can we build a system to address the reachability and usability issue of web privacy settings? And at the same time, can we make it easier for the users to enforce their privacy preferences? Now, in order to achieve this, we have to overcome several challenges. First, we have to develop a system to automatically find the privacy control pages, which is not an easy task to do, even manually. Next, we need to extract the fine-grained options for privacy settings from these pages. This is particularly challenging because of the variability of HTML implementations. Finally, we need to design a usable interface which allows for easy access and enforcement of these privacy settings by the user. In the rest of this talk, we will show how these challenges are addressed in PriceSec. But first, let's start with the overview of PriceSec. The first module is the domain crawler. This takes in the domain name and finds the control pages in that domain. The control pages are then passed onto the recipe generator, which transforms them into control recipes, which are machine-readable representations of the control pages. These recipes are stored in a recipe database, which can be queried by the client service. The client service then serves these recipes to the users via the user interface. In the interface, the user can search for their setting of interest by issuing free-form queries. Next, the user can provide their preferences to the enforcer module, which uses the control recipes and automatically enforces the user preferences. Next, let's take a look at the backend components in detail. The crawler module starts with a domain name and performs a web search to reach the landing URL, which is usually the homepage of the domain. From there, the module looks for anchor links on the page and performs a breadth first search for up to 3 levels and applies heuristics to filter out the noise. Next, we pass the list of pages through the isControl classifier. This is a classifier which takes the text and the UI element of the page as input and determines whether the given page is a control page or not. Next, the control pages are passed onto the recipe generator, which generates privacy control recipes. These recipes are machine-readable representations of the control pages. For example, the recipe for part of the Twitter page is shown here. The recipe consists of a set of groups of settings present on the page. Each group consists of group text which provides the overall context of the setting. Further, a group can have multiple options, with each option having an option text and an XPath corresponding to the XPath to the element corresponding to that option. Before we look at the recipe generator, let's look at the main challenges in recipe generation. First, we need to be able to identify the control element without relying on the underlying HTML signal, as the same element can be implemented using different HTML code. For example, the slider on top here is implemented using the div tag, while the one at the bottom uses the input tag. Another key challenge is to extract dynamic paths or elements present on the page. These could be the dynamic elements loaded after user interaction, like the push notification settings that we saw on Twitter earlier, or connected elements where one option's availability depends on another. Finally, the last challenge is to extract the relevant text corresponding to the settings. Next, let's look at the recipe generator module. First, we utilize an accessibility feature called focusing to identify the elements that we can extract, that we can interact with. These include elements such as radio, checkboxes, links, and buttons. Then we generate a dependency graph by dynamically interacting with each element and observing the state of the page. This captures cases when options are dynamically loaded. The example here shows a mock dependency graph for push notifications on Twitter that we saw earlier. Now, to find the element type without relying on the underlying HTML, we leverage the fact that the visual representation of these elements needs to be consistent for usability, and thus use a visual classifier for this task. Finally, we utilize the hierarchical structure of the HTML to group similar settings together and extract text corresponding to each options as well as the group. Now let's take a look at the client side of the Pricek, where these recipes are served to the users. To use Pricek, user activates the plugin from the domain of interest. At this moment, the plugin gets the recipe from the server and presents it to the user. Now here, the user can browse through the settings or search for the setting of interest, as shown in the figure here. Once the user finds the setting and selects their preference, Pricek generates JavaScript on the fly and injects it in the browser to perform the enforcement. Let's take a look at Pricek in action on Reddit. As you can see, once the user selects their preference and clicks on set, Pricek opens up a new tab, injects the JavaScript onto that tab, and enforces the setting. Once the setting is enforced, the tab is closed, and we can verify this by refreshing this page. There. So currently, the plugin has support for over 500 websites. We plan to release a fully functional plugin later this year in July with support for over 1,000 websites. Now we describe the evaluation datasets used for evaluating Pricek. The first dataset is privacy control page dataset, in which we manually annotated top 500 websites from Alexa for their settings pages. After removing the non-English sites and the sites from the training set, we get a total of 100 control pages from 58 domains. The second set we curated is natural language query dataset, in which we extracted free-form user queries about privacy settings from Twitter and Reddit. This is used to evaluate the search interface that we have. In this dataset, we have 135 queries corresponding to the settings from 15 domains in our PCP set. For the end-to-end evaluation, we start with the 58 domains from the PCP dataset and pass them to the crawler. The crawler resulted in 1,400 candidates and missed 5 of the original settings page. Next, the 1,400 candidates are passed through the isControl classifier. By design, this classifier is optimized for high recall. The classifier resulted in 323 control pages without missing any control page. Finally, the 323 control pages are passed through the recipe generator, where we see correct recipes for 94.2% of the pages. Here, the recipe generator also acts as a second stage filter, as false positives from the isControl classifier generally do not get a usable recipe. Next, we evaluate the search functionality of query interface. In this task, we start with the user query and encode it into embeddings using an encoder. The same encoder is also used to encode the settings text from the control pages of the domain of interest. In this example, the Reddit. Then we compute cosine similarity between each query vector and the setting vector to get a similarity score and sort the settings text based on this score to get the most relevant settings for the given query. Now, to perform the evaluation, we take the 135 queries from NLQ dataset and compute the top K accuracy for different encoders. We find that the universal sentence encoder outperforms the others. We also note that the light version of universal sentence encoder has a slightly lower accuracy, but it can be deployed locally. This shows that PriceSec can be deployed locally with UseLite at a small cost and accuracy, but this preserves the privacy of the users as their queries are not sent to the server. Finally, we performed user-based evaluation where we recruited 148 participants from MTurf. Here, we study the usability of PriceSec in locating privacy settings against the baseline where the user has to search for the settings manually. We selected 6 popular domains and asked each user to perform 2 tasks, one using the extension and one without. As the user performed the task, we measured task completion time as proxy for user effort and asked users to fill system usability scale survey to measure the usability. Here we show the results from the user study. The left plot shows the time taken to complete the tasks for PriceSec and the manual baseline. The plot on the right shows the usability score. From these, we can see that PriceSec has a more usable interface and reduces user effort quite significantly. Okay, so in this work, we presented PriceSec, an automated framework for extraction, annotation, and enforcement of privacy choices. We show that PriceSec accurately extracts recipes, makes it easier for the users to find their privacy settings of interest, and reduces user burden while being more usable than the baseline approach. With this, I conclude my talk. Thank you for your time.